Hi YouTube. So I'm gonna tell my dream that I had maybe like a few days ago. So in this dream, I had this dream that it was like my family, like me, my sister, my mom, and my dad, and we were on this island, and I think we were staying like a hotel or something like that. I don't know where the island was, but we was on like an island, and I remember in the sky, I saw like a big like plane that was passing by. Like when I looked in the sky. Oh, by the way, I was standing outside. Like I wasn't in the hotel at the moment when I looked in the sky, but I was actually standing outside. So I was looking up in the sky, and I saw like a big plane, and then I saw a smaller one that was like flying like a little bit like under it. So it looked like it was gonna hit like the bigger plane, but I was thinking, oh, like it looked like it almost did. But then after the little plane like passed by, um, the big plane started going like lower, 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 lower. I was like, oh, like, and the big plane hit the island, but it was like it was like one island that we were on, and the island like broke, like a part of it broke off. When the plane had like hit that part of like the island, and then after that happened, like the island, like the piece that broke off, became like unstable. So I remember I'm going to use my phone for a demonstration, but so like the island, imagine this is like the top. So it had flipped over like this, and then went up, was back to how it was, and then it was just kind of like this. And like the water, some of the water was like coming over to like the island we were on. Like some of it was flooding, but it like like the part that we was on the island, it didn't like move. It was steady. But some of the water splashing from like after that when that plane crashed is the water started coming onto like the part that wasn't messed up or wasn't bothered basically. And then I remember like after seeing that part of the island that broke off, I said to my dad, I was like, Daddy, are you sure um that y'all said we can like go over there? And he was like, well, yeah, but he seemed like he was kind of unsure of like like unsure of what y'all had said or wasn't for sure. But yeah, that's what happened in my dream about this whole island and whatever.
Okay. As my daughter was explaining her dream, I believe the dream interpretation or the island that she saw was the one that you see on the news, Canary Island or La Palma. Okay. Now, keep in mind, my daughter, she didn't even know a volcano eruption was going on in La Palma Island. She didn't even know about this island, Canary Island. She didn't know a thing about it. She doesn't even watch the news. So her dream was not triggered by watching the news or anything. She didn't even know about this whole event going on. But as she was telling me this dream, I began to recognize what she saw as it relates to Canary Island and La Palma and what is going on over there today. So I'm going to kind of give a breakdown of her dream, and also I'm going to explain what's going on in that island by showing different pictures. But also, I'm going to end it off with giving my dream that I had many, many years ago that did not make sense to me at the time, but it's starting to make sense. And I'm just going to explain the possible things that could happen or that can come as a result of what's going on with this island. Okay, so now When you look at this island in this picture, where you see the red dots, those are all the earthquake tremors or the occurrence within the last week in Canary Island. When you look at that little red area, you see where it's circled in red that I just circled? Uh, that is the flank area that they believe is going to go off into the ocean, into the direction of the ocean. Now, if that happens, this is what they believe that could happen. Now, you see this little area that the red arrow is pointing in. You see the little ripple effect coming from that island. As you look at the farther it goes off into the west towards the US and Brazil, the waves are going to be getting bigger and bigger. You see in the UK, the waves could get from 16 to 20 feet. And as it reaches the US, the waves could be 130 to 160 feet high. And it can move at a speed of 650 miles per hour, travel up to 12 and a half miles inland. Some scientists say that that could happen. Some say that it will never happen. We don't know. But we want to be cautious of the possibility and not take any sign lightly, but always stay in prayer and things that we can pray about and take heed to the warnings and the signs that maybe the Most High has given us. Here are some of the eruption pictures that went on in that island for the past, a week or so? And it's horrible. Now, this is a plane crash. Now, remember, my daughter said in her dream she's seen a plane. Doesn't that plane crash kind of resembles the fire in the island? And I believe that's what she saw symbolically. Now, remember in Deja's dream, she saw a big plane and a small plane under the big one. I believe the small plane represents the beginning stage of the volcanic eruption, and the big one represents the bigger one that's coming after it. That's really gonna take the island off or break it off, break that flank off into the ocean. That's just my interpretation of the two planes, because the smaller plane hit the bottom, hit the other plane like she thought she saw, and then the big plane was the one that hit the island and broke off parts of the island. So the two planes could represent the severeness of that volcanic eruption in different levels. Now, part of her dream, she saw one part of the island detach, just like what you see that could happen with Canary Island. But then she said it spun off. Now, they are saying that there are some of the parts of the island that is now doing landslides into the ocean. And this is the pictures of the landslide of some of the land sliding off into the ocean. Now, could this happen? Possibly. But hey, it's showing some bad signs for this island, Canary Island. And a lot of people had to evacuate some parts of the island because of what's going on there. Now, if this flank goes off into the ocean, or parts of the land goes off into the ocean, and it does the exact things that scientists say could happen, cause a massive tsunami of waves up to 120 or 160 feet high, or some say 200 feet high, massive waves going into the east coast of the US, then the dream that I had many years ago is starting to make sense to me. Now, what reminded me about this dream is I went to this, I stumbled upon this YouTube page called NY Prepper. And I went into the comment section and I saw he was talking about the Canary Island, La Palma. And, I gave I said up top, you see here in the picture where I said my daughter had a dream about this and she didn't know this was going on. This gentleman, GBB, he made a comment as a response to my comment. He said, I had a dream as well. Live on the east coast of Virginia, out my window, waves were coming in way over my home. Second dream, water was everywhere, and I was trying to help a child from being swept under the current, reaching my hand out just to save people from being swept away. When I read this comment, It blew me away because it reminded me of a dream I had many, many years ago that I did not understand about me dreaming about Virginia. That stood out to me about his dream about Virginia. Now, let me share what happened in that dream. Now, in the start of this dream, I immediately knew I was in Virginia because the initial VA appeared before my eyes when I went into this clinic I saw a bunch of nurses and doctors like you see in this picture. People were lined up to get a shot. And keep in mind, this was like, I believe, just about 9 years ago. And I thought it was rather odd and bizarre about Virginia. I'm like, why am I having dreams about them getting shots? So they were getting shots. They were all lined up. Then the scene switched to me being on Virginia's beach. And I saw a bunch of young teenagers who were out there for some kind of event. And they were just hanging out in the beach. And it's like I was hovering over the beach and I could see what was going on. So I left the beach for a little while and then I came back. And then all of a sudden, I saw all those kids that were out there preparing for an event all of a sudden washed away. Bodies were floating into the water and everything. And some of the bodies was even washed up on the shore, just like you see in this picture. Now, I don't know what hit these kids, but I had a feeling that it had been some type of tsunami that came and hit them and dragged them back off into the ocean. And that makes me think about this gentleman, his comment, how he said he helped a child from being swept under the current, reaching my hand out just to save people from being swept away. Keep in mind that Virginia is in the east coast of America. And just like they said, these tsunami waves could hit the east coast of America. So as we were going back and forth, I told this gentleman, I said, hey, I would like to reference your comment and your dream. And he agreed to it. And he also said this. He said, I agree. Funny you say VA Beach, as that's where I'm located, 10 minutes from the beach. Looking forward to the video. Stay prayed up and prepared mentally, spiritually, and physically. So I have no doubt that the Most High revealed this dream to this man because of where his location is. And the same to me, being that I'm from Florida, which is a state that's far on the east coast of America, and I have family, friends there. I have people there, and I once lived there. But now I'm here in Africa. And at the time, the Most High revealed that to me. Back then, it didn't make sense. But it's making sense now. Even the part about the people getting shots. It's starting to make sense now. And I believe the shots was a point of reference when this could possibly happen. Especially with seeing what's going on over in Canary Island and what they say could happen, that it would cause a 200-foot tsunami wave to hit the whole east coast of the U.S. and even into UK, which it shouldn't cause that bad of a impact. And also, like it showed in the map, Brazil. So I'm going to leave you with this last thought. A scripture is in Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 22. It says, for a fire has been kindled by my wrath, one that burns to the realm of death below. It will devour the earth and its harvest and set afire the foundations of the mountains. See, the Most High, whenever you see these volcanic eruptions, it is a sign of the wrath of the Most High. And why would the Most High allow his wrath to be manifested? I'll tell you why. Because these world leaders, Satan, and also rebellion of the church is playing with fire and Yahweh's anger. So I want to leave you with that thought. Shalom, and y'all be blessed. And stay woke, y'all. And please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about these dreams and visions. Also, please share to anyone that you think might be interested in hearing this. All right, be blessed.